everyone, and welcome to the Woman's
Welcome to the Woman's Cave. Yes, this is me, Jade. I'm mobile today. Wilnona is in the studio.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me, Jade. It's so lonely when I have to do this by myself. Especially like right now on our studio, and the lighting is wrong and I can't get anyone to fix it. So I'm sitting here.
Yeah, I just don't want you to be lonely, Wilnona, because we know how you get when you're lonely.
Yeah. I get really shall we say creative?
Sure. And then I'll make a sly joke about you drinking alone, not a good idea. I don't know. I'm gonna let it go.
Really?
I'm gonna let it go.
Alone drink? No, I'm not gonna drink alone.
But I'm Jade, by the way. I'm Jade.
Oh, I'm Wilnona, and we
Yay.
actually remember to introduce ourselves. What?
High five.
We're good at this, y'all.
Through the internet. High five.
Yeah, she does. She tries to keep us on track, but you know this already. By the way, we are like important-ish. Jade, explain why.
Sorry, you said we are important-ish. That's ridiculous. All right, let's get it. Let's get why we're important. Come on.
Oh, no, I thought you were going to do it. Okay, never mind. I'll do it. So we are the co-authors of the And I Thought series. And I thought divorce was bad. And I thought being grown up was easy. Use your imagination.
And I thought I did my journey alone. And I thought I had all figured out. And I thought I could juggle it all. All 5 of those books are available on andwethought.com, amazon.com, barnesandnobles.com. Also, you guys, you can check out our new snippet of life at Just Writing Life. It'll be on this channel, or you can just listen to it on the podcast if you want to. That's exciting too. We're just gonna talk about our life as we get ready for events and red carpets and appearances and things that we do that does not involve writing. It is all about the books and stuff, but it's not exactly about the writing.
Yeah, I think we're on episode 4 now.
Yeah.
So if you do it, just do some quick binge watching, which will take you all of 10 minutes.
10
That's a lot of watching right
minutes.
There. Yes. Anyway, oh yeah, you already said Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. What else? AndWeThought.com. Apparently, my lunch or dinner is trying to tell on me. I apologize, you guys. So unprofessional. But yeah. And wethought.com also. You can find us there.
Okay. Yay. So I guess we're done talking about ourselves. We're going to hand it over to our wonderful guest, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Wonderful guest. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Trance, or TJ. That's my real nickname, but Trance is my little internet alias or gamer name or whatever. So
okay, I'm just mad that he had such the voice for podcasting or being a radio host. I'm mad at him already, but I still like you.
Good.
I'm upset about the names because between TJ and Trance, they're both really cool.
I know.
But continue to introduce yourself.
Continue. I'm sorry.
So, as you guys probably know and don't know, I am a passionate gamer. I do have a full-time job as a pharmacy technician. And I work in the federal government and stuff like that. And so in the spare time, I spend time with my girlfriend Marquita, play games, and eat a lot of food.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I wish I could eat a lot of food. I do, but no. Also, let's just say, welcome the gamers into the Woman's Cave. What?
Yo! Woo! I'm sorry. I got a little excited.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry. I haven't done anything about gaming in so long. It's been ridiculous. So
I know we've been working.
This episode.
Yeah, this has been a pleasant surprise that to be on the show, and I'm really happy to be here.
Okay, so we have to start off with 2 things. Do you mind, Jade?
Oh, let's get it.
2 things. Okay, what's on the hat and what's on the shirt?
Well, on the hat, it's Luigi.
Yeah.
It appeared in Super Mario Bros. The very first game. And then I added 2 custom pins on it, and I added the controller from the NES and also the Zapper too. And then my shirt is just the 8-bit representation of Mario, the first one. So you see Toad and Prince Pete, and Mario, and the Koopa Shell, and Bowser and the Paratrooper and the Spiny and the Goomba and the Cheep Cheep and another Koopa Troopa, the Hammer Brother, the Buzzy Beetle, the Blooper, the Bullet Bill, and Lakitu, which is the guy who was in the cloud with the Spinies after you, chased you until you died.
Oh, man.
Just the fact that he knows all those names, it's like flipping me out. Because I called it the Cloud Guy, the Giant Bullets.
Oh. So when I was a kid, right, I used to always read the instruction manuals that came with the games. So usually in the instruction manuals, they actually tell you like the names of the enemies and the characters and stuff, like the little storyline. Because a lot of people don't know, in the first Mario game, everything that you see used to be part of the Mushroom Kingdom. So basically what happens is that, like, you know, all the bricks and the blocks and the coins and the clouds and the bushes and stuff. So Bowser, the main antagonist of the series, you know, the giant turtle with the spikes on him, he's like an evil wizard, and then he turns everyone in the Mushroom Kingdom into like inanimate objects. So when you see stuff with eyes like the stars and stuff, that used to be people. So it's kind of like a weird story. Like if you read the instruction manual, they actually tell you all of this. Like, oh yeah, King Koopa came to the Mushroom Kingdom, kidnapped Princess Toadstool, and turned everyone into like objects, coins, mushrooms, and stuff like that. And then he has this military called the Koopa Troop, which is, you know, like the Goombas, the turtles, you know, blah blah blah, and they're set to like invade the Mushroom Kingdom. And then so Mario's like this run-of-the-mill plumber from Brooklyn, New York, of all places, and then he finds the magical pipe, and then he goes in the magical pipe and lands in the Mushroom Kingdom and finds out that the Mushroom Kingdom is under distress from King Koopa, and that's how the game begins. So,
wow, we just got deep, y'all, into Mario Brothers. That's what I'm talking about.
I was like, I'm never, ever, ever taking for granted any of boards 1 through 8 of the video game again, and I thoroughly enjoyed playing those 1 through 8. I love the fact that it made a resurgence, by the way. Jade, any other question?
Yes. Oh, I was going to ask you a wonderful question. Is how does it feel to be? I'm going to ask you a personal question. How does it feel to be the boyfriend of Trust Simon?
It's great. I enjoy it a lot.
You better be saying it's great.
I believe it's Trust on the other side.
I think that is Trust on the other side. I mean, she's such a beautiful person. I'm glad you're a secure man. That's awesome. Also, I heard that you are coming out with your own podcast. What is that going to be about? Yeah,
so the podcast in the works is going to be called Super Trance Cast 64, and it's like an anagram of like Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 with my name in between of it. So I'm going to be talking about games, reviews, hardware, software, my opinions on games and stuff like that. So I plan on launching that sometime in the spring.
Oh,
nice. So speaking of that.
Say that again.
I'm going to let Wilnona go. Go ahead,
okay.
Wilnona.
I was going to say, you got like 2 people that are definitely going to be listening to your podcast. And no, we're not hardcore gamers anymore. Sorry. But we used to be. Anyway, I have a small question, just a small one. Out of all the games that you've played, which one do you think is like the top 3 of all time?
Oh man, I get asked this question a lot from a lot of people because I've played so many games in the past 20 years, like from the NES to the Switch, the PS4, and the 360. But my top 3, I would say, does it have to be in order, or is it?
No, just give us 3.
All right, 3 would be. The first game would be Super Mario Bros. 3 on the NES. That's the one where he gets the raccoon tail. That's definitely number 1 for me.
Yeah.
Number 2 would be, I would say, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo.
Ooh.
And number 3, I would say would be, I would say Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo. Those are my top 3.
Nice.
Oh, the thing is, like, I've played all of those, so I'm kind of surprised.
Like a lot of my favorite games kind of like stem from like the 16-bit era, like the Super Nintendo. And I mean, nowadays games are great, but like I can like boot up like an old 16-bit game from 1991 and still have a blast with it, even more so than today's games. So
you're taking my next question. I was about to ask, how do you feel about the change in like style? Because back in the day, I was going to make a reference to my time, but I'm not because I'm young and adorable. So back in the day, they used to have kind of like goal direct games, and now they have more storytelling, kind of almost like a movie game. So how did you feel about the change in direction?
So I have two answers for this question. Hopefully I can have time to answer it through both perspectives. So as a gamer, as a consumer, I feel as though I enjoy story-driven based games because as long as there's a strong narrative to keep playing a game so that I don't get bored, it's fine. I mean, back in the day, a lot of games a lot of games back then did have a narrative to them, but they were kind of like, they were very subtle. Like it was more like go left to right, you know, collect stuff, kill stuff, and that, you know, beat the boss. That was the story. Now we live in an age where, you know, we have like cut scenes and, you know, fully voice acted, you know, and then see back then, you know, we didn't have like voice acted games. So when a character spoke, we had to use our imagination to say, okay, well, this is how this character would sound like. And it really promoted at the time, you know, like basic reading abilities. Like, you know, for example, you know, you have to talk and read a lot of signs, talk to a lot of people, and then you had to use your imagination. And now, as I'm older, you know, I still appreciate reading stuff, but having the voice acted stuff, you know, is cool too. And also, it's fun. But from like a game designer's perspective, or I feel as though there's too much story going on. I feel as though there's a lot of control taken away from the player. Like a lot of games these days are like, oh, go here, go to point A, go to point B, do all of this little filler stuff in between. Because I don't know if you're aware of this genre called open world, in which an open world game is essentially like where the game designers put the player in like this giant sandbox, and you can go wherever, do whatever you want to do. But it's like at times it feels like overbearing. They want you to do, hey, like here's a side quest here, you know, collect 20 of this, you know, go talk to this person, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, what? Like I'm like, okay, like I enjoy this to a point, but then after a while, I just get like, okay, I'm bored. There's too much to do. So the answer to your question for me is like, I'm cool with like the evolution of games and how they've become, but I feel as though some games, they just try to do too much.
I think we always get to that point where you have something, a good thing, and then you just get too much of a good thing. And finding that balance is great. Although I have to say, I love the video games just for graphics. Because when you use your imagination, you kind of imagine the world like this. So it's kind of cool to see it. But as you were saying before, it makes you a little lazy as a game player. And I don't miss the reading.
That's funny. Considering that you are an author, like you should miss the reading.
I should. I really should. You know, when you're playing a video game, you're playing a video game. Anyway, not important. Jade.
I have another question for you. If you could do us a brief review on the Nintendo Switch and what you think about it.
You said a review of it?
Like, tell us what you think about it.
Oh, well, I like it. Well, since I'm on video, I can show it off. Well, so this is the box. The Switch box. This is the box. I mean, it's not really that important, but this actually does have a lot of importance because look how small the box is. And I don't know how you remember how big boxes used to come in for systems, but they used to be huge.
Yeah.
And so this is what the Switch looks like, which is pretty neat.
Wow, that's it?
Yep, that's the Switch. This is the Switch. I'm going to turn it on so you can see the screen, which is how it looks. And it's touchscreen, multi-touch. I think it's called, is it capacitive touchscreen? I think that's what it's called. I don't know. Like, so I'm going to try to get the lights kind of. But yeah, this is what. Well, I was actually playing Zelda earlier, but this is what the game looks like. Well, That sucks.
Oh.
But the Switch,
Cool.
the most convenient thing about the Switch is that what you see right here is the entire system. So it's not like a big bulky Xbox or a giant. Or, this thing is a system. And then what is revolutionary about this Switch is that it's a handheld and a system in one. So you can take it with you. You can take it with you. You can take it over to your friend's house. You don't have to worry about like carrying a bunch of cables with you, carrying like a big old system. You just slip this thing in your backpack and then that's it. And what Nintendo has done once again, because we all know Nintendo, they're like the pioneers of like making stuff creative.
I was just about to say that.
So we all remember the Wii, right? And the Wii remote.
Yes.
So basically they've taken the Wii remote and they kind of made it smaller. And then so these controllers on the side, they're called Joy-Con, which is kind of like a little, I guess like Joy controller is probably what it means. And the best part about the Joy-Cons is that there's a button on the side and then doop, and doop. So now you just have the Switch by itself. And then what this allows you to do is that you can actually, there's a kickstand on the back. So you can actually prop up the kickstand like this, and then you can prop it on your table. Now, the Joy-Cons, which are these in my left and right hand, which is red left and blue red, but they come in different colors. So you can hold the Joy-Cons like this, play it like this, or the benefit of this system is that, remember how back in the day, Nintendo systems came with two controllers, the NES, the Super Nintendo. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you see how this is one whole controller? I know she can't see it, but I'm still describing the details so that we can imagine. Okay. Yeah, you can see it, the video. So this is actually one whole controller, right? But if you actually turn it to the side like this, it's its own individual controller.
Oh, that is so cool. Only Nintendo would do that.
Yeah, so it's two controllers, and then that form one whole controller. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, this looks kind of uncomfortable, like, okay, but
I was thinking that.
So it's actually not. So if you look at my finger, it actually fits into your hand quite perfectly, and then you can use your right finger for that. Your buttons go up here. But for some games, it's kind of like difficult because you have to kind of be like this. Now, what's included with the Switch is what they call a Joy-Con grip. This is what the Joy-Con grip looks like. And then you slide these two in like this. So I'm going to do it for you on camera so you can see like that. And like that. And now you have an actual...
Oh my goodness!
And then as you can hold it like this. And then it actually tells you, what... Because it does up to 4 at a time. So this is control number 1.
Wow.
I have to say this one thing.
We have come a long way, y'all.
And
I'm very, very happy and looking forward to buying me a Switch.
Yeah.
So excited.
Now, if you're not feeling the Joy-Cons, you want something that's more relaxed, more comfortable, more feel like a home controller, this is when the Nintendo Switch Pro controller comes into play. And this is about like $80, I believe. But this is like your traditional controller, with your buttons and your analog stick and your D-pad. So if you feel as though you're uncomfortable with those controllers, you can just purchase one of these. All of the controllers have motion sensing in them. So you remember how the Wii, you had to use a sensor bar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not anymore. With the Switch, it uses one-to-one tracking. So the Joy-Cons, let me actually get out the blue one so you can see. You can't see just the black one. So the Joy-Cons have a camera in them, which is right here. This is the IR camera. And what this does is that the IR camera can actually detect the distance and the diameter or in any direction that you're pointing at. So I can just take it like this and do like this, and then it would actually know I'm pointing at whatever I'm pointing at. So
wow.
It has an IR sensor right here, accelerometer, so that's like your gyroscope, so you can move stuff around and stuff like that. There's a game out for the Switch called 1-2 Switch, which is like a collection of different mini games that you can play. And then one of the mini games you can play is called, it's like an eating contest. And it's kind of weird to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. So in the eating contest, you take the Switch controller like this and you put it towards your mouth like this. And then the objective of the game is to eat as many burgers as you can. So you're like, and then the camera actually detects your mouth moving up and down, and it registers you eating a hamburger. Because with the IR camera right here, it sees your mouth. And then so when you're doing like on screen, it actually registers you biting into a hamburger. And it's
I can't have that game.
I know, because all I'm gonna want is hamburgers.
Right.
Let's just be honest.
I'll be like, don't make me a real hamburger.
And so, you know how controllers rumble, right? You know, have the force feedback, the vibration and such. So the Joy-Con controllers featured this feature called HD rumble. So for example, if I hold this controller like a cup and the game is simulating putting ice cubes into a cup, I can actually feel each ice cube going inside of the cup through the controller. And then the controller will actually vibrate heavier as more ice cubes are poured into the cup on screen. So, for example, if the game pours in one ice cube, it'll feel like one ice cube. Two ice cubes, it'll feel like two. Three, it'll feel like three. So the controller will actually register how many ice cubes are on the TV based off the rumble. And then there's another game where you can play where you and your partner, you guys are taking the Joy-Cons and you're shaking them up and you're rolling dice. And the objective of the game is kind of to fool your partner into thinking that you have a higher number than them. I don't know how to really play it. My friend brought it over, but it looked pretty neat. So.
Okay. Wow, that sounds awesome. I mean, wow. And I can't wait till you get your own podcast because I'm listening to it all the time. It's going to be everything.
Unfortunately, we're running out of time.
I know.
All right. And one last thing, and which is the most important part of the Switch that I didn't bring up to you, is that this is actually the dock for the Switch. I don't know what the stuff is on the side, but the dock for the Switch is basically, it comes with a power cable and HDMI cable, and then what you would do, I can't do it here because I'm on video, but you would take the Switch and then you would dock it into this, and then it'll go straight to your TV. So it's like instantaneously. So when you dock your Switch into the dock, it goes to your TV. Then when you take it out of the dock, it goes back to the Switch. So, you know, let's say you're playing a game on the train, you're playing Zelda, you're playing Mario, and you get home, you want to put it on your TV, right? So you put the Switch in the dock, and then the game instantaneously goes to your TV without any lag or anything. It takes probably like 2 to 3 seconds, but it goes straight to your TV. And last bit, and the games, you can download them, or to show you how far we've come in technology, this is what the games come in. This little teeny card.
So it looks like an SD card, you guys. For everyone listening on the podcast, looks kind of just like an SD card.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's a very tiny game card. Oh, here's the camera.
So before we go, I do have to ask one thing, and can you do it in like 30 seconds maybe? My question is, we always know that Nintendo is always revolutionizing the video game system. Every time they come up with a system, it's gonna be breaking. It's gonna be amazing. Right. So what do you think? What would you guess to hypothesize would be their next step?
The next step is anyone's guess. I know they said they want to dabble in VR next, so I can't wait to see how they're going to do that. But in terms of this, I mean, this is probably the most ingenious thing they've ever done. Like, they made a hybrid console and a handheld in one, which is pretty neat. So, you know, Nintendo will be Nintendo, and they always surprise me, make me happy, and other people happy too. So, you know,
they're kind of like the Apple of the gaming world. They just know what you want before you know that you want it, and then they give it to you, and you're like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't think it could get any better." And then they go, "Wait, we're gonna in the next 5 years we'll make it better," and you're like,
and of course, I expect.
How?
And of course, I expect a lot of copycat imitators from Sony and Microsoft. So I expect to see something like the Switch in the next year or two or so. So.
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that because their games are always cheaper than Nintendo. So.
But you can't play Mario Kart on PS4.
You can't do it. You can't do it. And that's one of my favorite games of all time. Just putting it out there.
I mean, it's just something about that Nintendo magic. Like, they always do it. I don't know what it is, but they put extreme quality and love into everything they make. It's like everything just feels magical. Like, from the NES up the NES, the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, the GameCube, the Wii, the Wii U, the Switch, the Game Boy Advance, the DS. Everything they've made has always been so, like,
awesome
of quality. Like, you're not buying anything cheap.
Even like, because it is cost efficient for the consumer, it's still like awesome for what you're getting. I know it costs a little bit more than like the PlayStations or anything else, but it's just amazing. Just the price difference and then what you get. It's always awesome to me. And the quality control of their games is amazing how they do that. But we're going to stop talking about
games. We are, and we're going to definitely have you back on, like, absolutely. But where can people find you now?
You can find me on about 20 different things. I'm on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Trance64. Trance64 is also my Instagram account. So Instagram.com/Ntrance. That's the letter NTRANCE 64. You can find me on Facebook at under Trance Power Glove. My YouTube account, you can find. My YouTube account is Trancetronics, TRANCETRONIX. Sometimes I post videos, stuff like that there. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you'll find me there.
That is awesome.
Awesome.
You had a YouTube, so I'm going to check that out as soon as I get off of here and put this video on YouTube.
Yes, it was great having you, and you will definitely be coming back again so we can talk some more games. And thank you for coming.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, or game cheats. Yeah, either
game cheats. Yeah, those two. All right, so
Jade,
you guys, we're wrapping up today. Just remember that you can find us at Jade on Twitter at Jaded2555, Wilnona at Just Writing Life, and you can pick up our books Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and WeThought.com, and just check out what we're doing. And WeThought.com will always have what we're doing. And you guys just remember that wisdom is all around you if
you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Wilnona
and Jade.
Bye-bye.